Well Represent Radio, it is the Gully B Carnival special, and it's only right that we visit one of the top countries for soca music in the world. We're talking about Trinidad and Tobago, and what better ambassador can we have for the genre than the man himself, Kez? How are you doing?
Yo, I'm blessed, man. I'm blessed to be on the island right now.
Yeah, man. It's looking good over there. I'm glad that we can do this over Zoom. I know it's kind of weird that we're in this weird like lockdown, virtual everything kind of style, but I'm so blessed to have you here on the show.
Yeah, man. Good to be here, man. We still have life and we still have vibes. So, we will connect. Sure.
Well, what a great day to have you on the show as well, because your brand new album has dropped today. We Home, the album is out now, right? It literally dropped this morning.
This is amazing. It definitely was a body of work that we all... it's just a very significant body of work in a significant year. This year has been very, very different. Definitely a labor of love that we're happy to release onto the world.
Well, something that we're absolutely loving as well. And one thing I think is so important as well, number one, you've got one of the most recognizable voices in all of music genres, not even just soca music. Like, as soon as you hear you on any kind of rhythm, we know it's you. But more importantly, you keep the family band together, and also at the same time, it's very important for you guys that you operate still as a band, right?
Yes, definitely. I think as well, too, just obviously it's my family, so it's a real joy to really be with my family, on stage. But I have to say as well, too, a lot of the genre, like, to me, translates live. So that live band is such an important element of the genre. And I think people who now hearing soca for the first time and stuff like that, when they see a band perform, they get it, So yeah. To me, the band aspect has always been important. We started music as bands, as a rock band when we were kids. And, we moved on, of course, to soca music. And, but just that band camaraderie, it's like a gang, but like a good gang of music and good vibes.
Yeah, man, definitely. And that's one thing we can hear on the album as well. You can still hear those live elements. For example, everyone knows the massive hit that you done, I think, the year before last, Hello. Huge soca hit all over the world. Everyone knows that song. But on the album, you've got more of a live kind of aspect version. You can hear that
yes.
you can hear that as a vocalist, you have a bit more fun with the way you play it. You do little different parts in it. You can hear the instrumentation.
Exactly.
It's a lot less of like a straight rhythm track that's been produced, and it's much more like a performance piece.
Yes, exactly. We wanted to capture some of the live arrangements that we do on stage. Like, while someone is partying, unless you're a musician, you're not going to be tuning into all these different levels, You're just going to party once you're singing my favorite song. But we felt like, wow, we needed to capture some of these arrangements, because it's one thing to record a song and have a good vibe on the radio, but then to perform it live, you have to sort of rearrange the song, break it apart and put it back together again. And, it's something else comes out in the next end. So, I was really happy to really get that down, and record that and have people, listen to Kesty Band in 2020. Like, it will always be, like a signature sound that we have, and I'm happy that we captured it,
Well, it's definitely worked for you, because I would say that every single year, the top of every soca chart when we come up to this time for Notting Hill Carnival, you're normally top in the list. Like, of course, last year we had Savannah Grass. This year we've got Stage Gone Bad with Iowa George. That was the Soca Monarch and the Road Monarch winner. But at the same time, you've got Dear Promoter with Voice. So there's two massive soca hits just from yourself this year alone. And now we have the album. As if two massive hits wasn't enough, you now drop the album as well, man. So
man.
What's your formula for that, man? Because like, you consistently create the biggest soca hits every single year. Like, how do you come around from that? Am I right?
It boils down to the moment, and it boils down to being true to the now, in a sense of every moment is a new moment to be inspired. And sometimes when you make a massive hit, you get daunted by, what are we going to do next? And but you have to trust in the gods of creativity, in a sense of every year brought a different level of inspiration. Every year brought something new to the show. And I think it is, if you're ready to receive and you're not too clogged up with your past stuff or what's to come, you are there to receive the gift of now, not the present. And and I'm inspired. Like, for me, I know there's new music coming, but I don't know how it's gonna reach. I don't know when, but I'm fascinated every day. Something comes, something new, something fresh. So I'm as it's coming, I'm just letting it flow. You know what I mean? Until it's time for me to, take a little chill. But for now, man, the music's flowing, so I'm gonna flow with it,
Well, it definitely works, man. Like, you've got the most uplifting energy. Even right now, while we're doing this over Zoom, you've got a big smile on your face, man, right now. And I know that there's so many good things happening. So for anyone that's kind of been a bit disheartened this year with the lockdown, everyone's been locked inside. And we're supposed to be having Notting Hill Carnival this very weekend, which has now obviously been cancelled due to COVID. What can the album kind of provide for listeners that are missing that carnival experience? What's on the album for them that you think will retouch them?
I think the album really and truly touches that live feel that we're all missing. And it's one of those albums that you can listen from track 1 to the end. We kind of made it almost as a set list. So however I would have arranged the songs in a set, you can listen to it down from the beginning to the end. And it really captures just the essence of who we are. We've toured extensively over the last 15 years. And we've had a lot of great relationships we've made in different countries. A lot of people supporting from all around the world. A lot of people who come annually to Trinidad to see us even. And we really just wanted to pay tribute, to the people who came to the live shows, and really supported us from that level. So I think it's just a real great piece to have if you're a Soca fan, if you're a Cestiban fan, if you're a Carnival fan. If you're just a fan of music, because I would say, yes, it's a Soca album, but yet there are a lot of other interpretations of the songs. Like, the songs are not straightforward Soca. Some of them are a little more on the Soca side. Some of them went a little more, I don't know what to explain, but you have to listen to the album. It's going to be an influence of all different types of music with a Soca base, let's just say. And man, so it's an experience, a live experience in your ears.
Well, that's the best thing to hear right now, especially right now. It's just perfect timing because it is now the start of the bank holiday here in the UK. It would have been Notting Hill Carnival, so people are craving Soca music because they're not getting it this year. So for you to drop an album today is like the best news for everyone. So guys, if you've not heard it yet, I know we're at 5 p.m. now, but like, if you guys want to go and listen to the album, I suggest you after this radio show go and check out the full album because We Home is the best thing by Kez right now. You need to be checking out. But I want to talk about more about.
We're also gonna have a live broadcast though. So like, even if you want to catch the album, you want to catch us doing it live, we're gonna have a live broadcast on the 31st of August, which is our independence as well. So anybody around the world, welcome. You're welcome to our home. So come to we home and we enjoy yourself.
It's perfect timing. Trinidad Independence Day on the 31st of August as well, with a live show by Kez and the band. And then at the same time, we've got 28th of July. This is the weekend of Notting Hill Carnival here in the UK. The album's dropped. This is just the perfect time. But I want to tap onto what you were saying about Trinidad and Tobago as well, because this is a Rep Your Flag show. We're speaking to top artists from every country in the Caribbean to tell us what's special about their island, about their style of music, their culture, and what's so interesting about their carnival. Trinidad and Tobago Carnival is seen as almost like the Mecca god-like level of carnivals around the world. What's your first memory of carnival for you in Trinidad?
There's a lot. I've never missed a carnival in my entire life, since I was a baby in a basket. And I think one of the things I really remember was, Juve morning, which is the kickoff of the street parade part of carnival. It starts at 2 in the morning, 4 in the morning, it changed times according to, what was happening. And I always remember being a kid staying with my grandmother, and she was staying in the heart of the carnival action in the capital. And I remember waking up to a huge music truck just passing in front of the house with like a band and revelers, and I just remember looking out the window and being so fascinated by this, sitting on top of the wall, sort of looking at this band going by, and just seeing the musicians and from TV, it was just amazing to really witness that at a young age. I mean, I'm talking like 4 years old, 5 years old,
Wow.
And just taking it in, and then from there every year we lived in San Fernando, which was the kind of countryside. we would come to Port of Spain, which is the capital, every year for Carnival, and just take it in every year. And it's always been a great impact. And our dad as well too is a man of culture, you know. So he had us playing in his Juve bands as kids, and you know, it was just all around us.
Man, that sounds absolutely scenically beautiful, and just the best upbringing ever for the career that you've led from then. And it's a fascinating time. So one thing I'm asking all the artists on today's show... Definitely, man, yeah. Well, one of the things we're asking all the artists on today's show to do is to pick 2 songs to rep their country. So I'm going to ask you right now to be the selector of the show. What's the first song for you to pick to represent Carnival from Trinidad and Tobago? What would we go for?
Well, I would go, for one, I would go Calypso by David Rudder. I think David Rudder is one of the most prolific artists of the 80s that came out, and that time he was 70s, 80s, 90s, all now. But for him, he really influenced me, my style. His band, Charlie's Roots, it's just, they had a sound, they had a vibe, and they were very, very meticulous in how they brought across the music. So David Rudder, Calypso music, the lyrics are great, and it's really celebrating the heart of it all, Calypso music. You know, this is where it all came from. A lot of people don't know that the history of Calypso music really and truly was the music of the Caribbean, and out of Calypso came reggae, and then of course came soca and dancehall and everything else, you know. So big respect to Calypso music and David Rudder.
Definitely. Well. Kez, man, what a tune that is. So for you, like, how influential was Calypso for you growing up?
It was definitely it's influential to me in all steps of my career, actually, because of, you know, you get deeper into what you're doing. I got to be able to talk to a lot of the elders and really learn about the history of like the music industry in Trinidad and the music and how it grew and how, you know, all the different things that happened that kind of paved the way. So it's a real fascinating thing for me now, especially now in my life right now. I really want to get back into the history of Calypso and bring back some of that swag and bring back some of that sound and that care that we had into the younger soca music, you know. And just, you know, they were classic, and I think classic is not old. Classic is just timeless, and I think that's what we strive to do with our music, just to be timeless, so that when you listen to it, it doesn't matter what year we're in, you know, it's just a good song, you know.
Definitely.
So
absolutely love that, man. So before we jump into your second pick of your favourite songs from Trinidad and Tobago, what is so unique about Carnival and the whole country of Trinidad and Tobago? What's the most unique thing to you about it?
Well, you know, of Carnival or the whole country? Because that's a whole...
Both.
Both. I mean, I'll tell you something about Trinidad and Tobago. It's such a unique blend of people, cultures, geography. Wow, it's just a perfect storm in a great way, because it's really representative of the entire world. Like, everybody's there, you know, black, white, Amerindian, just everybody, Syrian, Chinese, and we've all mixed together. And because it's an island, you can't help but this culture is spilled over to you, and then this one is spilled, and you exchange in such a way that the carnival now is really Trinidad's turning up its volume. You know, turning up its volume to full, and we really expressing ourselves like there's no tomorrow. And that's everybody. It's an all-inclusive party that everyone is invited to. And you know, and that carnival is that energy, is that expression of that energy. For me personally, I think every country in the world, every place in the world has their own form of carnival. And I think it's more a release. And that release, because if we don't release as a society, you know, things can go bad. So I think that the carnival release is such a special release in Trinidad, however, because it's such a representative of the world. I think if there was like one colony left in the world, the carnival would be the party to have. You know, in Trinidad, carnival would be that kind of party to have, that everybody would be remembering the humanity. So
definitely, man. Well, let's get to your second pick then. As a representative of Carnival and Trinidad and Tobago, what is going to be the second pick from you to represent that sound?
Well, I have to pay respects to two things, two people, two forces, I would say. The first is the savannah grass. And that's the name of the song, of course. But that piece of, that roundabout, that big, the lungs of Trinidad, of Port of Spain, as they say, it's a spot in Trinidad that really housed a lot of the Calypso competitions, a lot of the carnival parades. Just generally, it's used by the people of Trinidad and Tobago to just have a good time. We did that song especially for that, but then this song is really dedicated to my father. You know, he passed away New Year's Day 2019, and the year of Savannah Grass. And me and him would always go. I'd always play my music for him, unfinished songs. And this was a special one for me with him because he was the one who really taught us culture. He's the one who had us in the streets. He's the one who had us understanding about Calypso and all that. So to really bring that song to life and for him to bless it before he passed on, it was just, I don't know, there's no words that could really explain that. So that song will forever be my representation, my contribution to the culture of Trinidad and Tobago.
It's an absolutely perfect song for everything that you've just spoken about right there. The absolute soca anthem, Savannah Grass by Kes the Band. And hearing that last year on the truck in London in Notting Hill Carnival, everyone's singing along, man. Like, that has just spread across the entire world. And the vibes are so uplifting. It's so positive. It's so great. And I'm so glad that you picked that as your second pick today to represent Trinidad and Tobago on the Carnival show, man. Guys, if you're not already following Kes, make sure you check him out, Kes the Band Official on social media. Kes, thank you so much for joining us today via Zoom. It's been amazing for you to represent Trinidad and Tobago for the Carnival show, and we cannot wait to hear the rest of the album and see the live show.
That's this, man. Keep cooling it fun, keep pushing the culture out there. You know, to the Notting Hill family, I was hoping and looking forward to seeing you all this year, but you know what? God had other plans, and we will meet again and jam for sure.
Absolutely, man. Thank you so much.
All right.
Bless, man. Cool.